Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Finn. Finn is from England, but he lives in Sri Lanka. So let's see what Finn has to say. Enjoy the interview.
So, nice
Hello,
one.
Finn. How are you?
Hello. Good. I'm good. How are you?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time this evening for you, I believe, for the
Yeah.
interview.
Yeah. No, thank you. This is my first podcast, or interview or whatever we want to call it. So it's cool. I'm excited.
Amazing. Oh my God, amazing. I think it's great to, take opportunities and you never know where it can take you. I think
Exactly.
it's
Exactly.
great. It's the power of saying yes. That's how I believe.
Exactly. I was just about to say that. I was like, yeah, just it's funny as well. I wrote down like I'm big on journaling and manifestation, and I
Uh-huh.
wrote down 2 days ago, I wrote down in the evening, I have a goal of giving like talks, like motivational talks.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, great. Step one will be go on a podcast. So I wrote down, I want to go on a podcast. And then I just wrote down, I have a few friends that do one in London, and I just thought, okay, cool. I'm going to just take the steps to go on my first podcast, however that will be. And I'm just putting it out there. This is something I want to do. And then the next day, I go on TikTok Live, and then I just see a DM from you
Oh my God.
saying, and I was just like, it was within like, yeah, and I wrote it down again that morning, and I was thinking about it. It was on my mind, and then I went and did the live, which is again kind of like good practice. And then I
Wow.
saw the message, and I was like, I had like goosebumps. I was like, oh wow,
And I've got goosebumps now. Oh my goodness. I think I totally agree with you. Whatever you put, you as you said, manifestation, whatever you put out there, whatever you put your thoughts to, trust me, it gets you somehow. Oh my God, I've got goosebumps now everywhere.
yeah. For me, I was like, wow. I was like,
Wow.
it
I'll tell
didn't
you.
even take 24 hours.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow, you just made my day now, Thing. For sure you made my day. It's great. I think we meant to have this moment today. We meant to have this interview today. But I think it's as you said, it's all part of the manifestation. Fun
Yeah,
enough,
absolutely,
fun enough. I
absolutely.
was in I was in Brazil on holidays. I'm from originally from Brazil, and I was in March. I was there for my mom's 60th birthday, and so of course I was doing some interviews as well. And I had a
Yeah,
lovely man from um, the US. I don't remember Seattle. I think I'm not sure which part of the US. And he said the same thing as well. He said, "William, I start putting out some. I would love to be in a podcast." And he wrote down somewhere, and suddenly the
yeah,
message came through. It's crazy.
yeah.
So
So I was
tell me,
like, sign me up, of course.
how's your day today? How did you go?
Good, good. Yeah, I recently moved to Sri Lanka, so it's
Hmm.
still quite new to me. Maybe 6.5 weeks, 7 weeks. So, um, yeah, I always get up early since moving here. I've been getting up at like 5 a.m. and I get up and I go on a walk. And that's like always the first thing I'll do. There's this beautiful like strip of like nature you see. It's like the paddy field, so you see all the wildlife, see the sunrise. So I start my day that way.
Wow.
And then I'm trying to grow my social media,
Hmm.
grow my online coaching business. So every day I do a few things. So I'll do the walk, come back, I'll do my journaling, um, writing down manifesting what I want in my life, writing down some goals, just writing down my thoughts. So just like how I'm feeling, just getting it out of my head onto the paper. I always write down what I'm grateful for as well. So just
I see.
practicing gratitude, positive thoughts. And then I went live. I did another live stream on TikTok. So I've been doing that every day for at least 30 minutes and maybe longer to try and spread my message, to try and promote myself. And just, it's a great way to just reach new people
Yeah.
and just try and start conversations.
Amazing.
So
And where are you from originally, Finn?
England, England,
I see.
from the countryside, Somerset, southwest of England.
Amazing, amazing. And why Sri Lanka?
Yeah, so I get asked this a lot. So I've developed the answer. I've practiced answering it. So So I was living obviously in England, lived in London. I worked in London, lived in London, in the fitness, in a gym. At one point, I worked in a coffee shop and did personal training on the side. So I was always like, like really struggling with money in London because it's so expensive. So I rented a flat with my friend. We spent like, it was a big chunk of money to spend each month just to live. So I did that. We did it for like a year, maybe even a year and a half. I can't really even remember. Had lots of fun, but never saved any money. Was always in a state of struggle of like, we need to make the payment for the rent. We need to make money, but we don't have money. Stressing. Anyway, we decided to move. He decided to move out with his girl. He moved in with his girlfriend. So I obviously couldn't continue to pay. We could hardly pay it when we split it, and the rent just kept going up. So, and I wasn't really. The job in the gym wasn't really resonating with me. So there was just nothing to really stay around for. So I moved home. My dad was like, come and stay with us. I was lucky. You don't have to pay rent. He was like, and then I was like thinking, okay, I need to do something. I can't just live at my parents'. So I was rushing into things and I thought maybe I'll be a gardener for some reason. And then that didn't work. Like that very quickly became just like, that was just an idea. And then I listened to this podcast of these two. I'm into jiu-jitsu actually, so Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Maybe you know about it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
very big in Brazil. Very big.
Yeah. So yeah, I did a lot of jiu-jitsu in London. So I worked at a jiu-jitsu gym. So and I had a lot of good times, but it just wasn't quite working. But yeah, lots of cool Brazilian coach, really cool. Where was I? So anyway, I listened to this podcast, these two jiu-jitsu twins, these two brothers, they're quite young, and they're talking about traveling, they're talking about surfing, just living this free lifestyle. I think they were talking about Costa Rica, but it wasn't so much where they were, but it was so much what they were describing. Yeah. I was like, I want to do that. I want freedom. I want to go to the beach, have the warm weather, wear just shorts, the flip-flops, not really be in cold England. And I've done it before. I lived in Thailand for a while. So I started to research into it, into these countries, Bali, Thailand, and then someone, I can't even remember who, mentioned Sri Lanka. Mm-hmm. And then, that was now in my mind, Sri Lanka. And then I just was going through Instagram and I saw someone's Instagram story that I follow. So he's like a friend, but like I had met him once and had never even thought about him, or I was just doing my life. And then I just suddenly saw, he's in Sri Lanka. So I'll just message him. It's called Tyler. So I was like, hey, I see you're in Sri Lanka. I'm thinking of maybe coming. Can we maybe chat about it? Maybe have a call. So I called him and he was just like hard selling it. He was like, come, you need to come. I can sort you out a place to stay, a bike. He was like, maybe even a job, like just, you should get out here, bro. Like, I'll look after you. I can help you.
Amazing.
So I was like, cool. Basically then was just like, okay, I'll just go there. So, booked the ticket and went. And then, since then I've just, since I got here, I kind of obviously became friends with Tyler. He was really helpful. We did lots of cool things, going to the beach, going to the gym. And then I kind of decided to do more focus on, I've always had social media, TikTok, but kind of on and off. Mm-hmm. It was very much centered around fitness and how I look, and very just fitness. And then when I got here, I decided to share a bit more. I would like to share about mindset, mental health, again, the journaling, just sharing parts about my past, putting it online. Like at times I struggled with alcohol, I struggled with my mental health, my depression, and just thought, you know what, I'm doing these things for myself. Like I'm doing the daily journaling, I'm trying to do breath work daily, meditation, I'm doing something like a walk. So I'll just share it. And then I started sharing it. People were asking me, how do I journal? How do I start? What do you do? And then from there, I was like, okay, I'm going to maybe try and make this into a business. Mm-hmm. And then Because basically otherwise I would have had to have gone home because I would have ran out of money. And then I've just continued to, one, post regularly and build it into a business, and two, just dive into this whole thing deeper anyway for myself to learn about it more, and like learning about other people and just different techniques. So it's been a crazy journey, and it's happened quick just by taking the jump of coming here. So it's been really cool.
Amazing thing, amazing. I think those, sometimes we just need to turn around our lives somehow, take the opportunities or connect with people as you connect with your friends, and suddenly, things just go to a direction that it meant to be. Okay, Finn, so during the journey, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your online coaching, about your life, and also about your point of views, okay?
Yeah, brilliant.
Finn, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Absolutely.
Amazing. Welcome to William in the Magic Box. So I've got him a best. Okay, full of random fun questions. So I'm just going to play a song now just for us to relax a bit before the first question. All right?
Amazing.
Let's do it. All right, so before we start the game, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, some reason you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Cool.
First question for you is that a dream you always had?
Yeah, so from about 15, I got into fitness. And at the same time, fitness, it's now become influencer, but back then it was very much like a fitness YouTuber. It was a growing concept, is a growing thing. I've always had a dream of wanting to work in the fitness dream and doing it online, making videos and kind of just sharing my life and my philosophy and concept, like a fitness vlogger is how it started. And then throughout, and I've always attempted it, I've always tried. I made my first YouTube videos at like 15 years old. Still have them. So I always understood, okay, you just have to do it. Like there's no, just like you won't be very good at it at first, and you just learn as you go. And then the social medias have changed, like the platforms like TikTok, Instagram over the years, but it's the same goal as if me at 15 saw me now, I would smile and be like, okay, you're doing it. Like you're making content online. It's about fitness. It's about your passions, and you're basically, you're earning your income. You're paying to live here just from this, which is still completely blows my mind because it's still quite new for me. And I'm like surprised that people are even not surprised, but like, it's like, wow, people are actually interested. The page is growing each day. I'm waking up to new messages. I'm in that stage right now, and it's like I'm so grateful, and it's like everything I've always wanted, to be honest.
Wow. And when you look back to this 15 years old thing, like when you start this, you had this dream or this passion about, express yourself through fitness, if you could give him one advice, which advice would you give to him at this time?
Yeah, I would say go more into it and stop caring what other people think and being held back by fear. Like I would hide the videos. I didn't want anyone to see them. Or I would be speaking like this, like very shy, or like kind of just like couldn't even look at the camera. It's just me in my bedroom. Like there's not even anybody there. But again, I wouldn't, in a way, I would also just say, to be honest, I would just say, keep doing it. You're doing good. Like, because you're 15. So, I would say just, there was times when I stopped, and I would just say, go more, go for it more, but it will all work out. You develop confidence as you get with age and with life experience. So
absolutely amazing.
Part of the game.
Next question. Let's do it. All right. Next question for you is, what is your funniest memory of a date that you had?
Ooh, funniest. Okay. Um, Give me a second to think.
Take your time.
Yeah. Okay, I can.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I can. I went. So this is. I guess this is funny. I went on a date with like an older woman, and it was completely um spontaneous and random. And
Uh-huh.
that I guess that was a funny story, and yeah, like unexpected, and just I kind of did it for for the story almost, which was funny. But like I just got a message, again, the power of social media and
Uh-huh.
whatever. At the time, it was when I lived in London, and I just put it out. I just like just got a random message from a woman, and and then we just ended up going on a date that day, and it was
Wow.
all very very spontaneous and just bizarre.
And one person to go on a date, one girl and one lady to go on a date with you. What this person must have, and what this person must not have.
To me, like I try to be open with it within the date, like because it's like the whole concept of the date is to just get to know them. So
Hmm?
I have to find them attractive, and then maybe there's some common ground, but I'm willing to. Again, nowadays it will be maybe you match with them on a dating app, you talk for a little bit, and then
Mhm.
then for me, I would much rather be let's just meet and see. So as long as
Amazing.
there's some initial attraction and some initial common ground, but like I would rather find out on the date, and then um, if we then get on,
Yeah.
things I would look for would be so like similar values. So for me at the moment, I don't drink alcohol,
Hmm.
so I would want someone that either doesn't or it's maybe just it's not like a big thing for them. Like they're not a big partier or not a
I,
big drinker. They can party still.
I see.
I would look for someone that has a passion and like something that they're into. So like their
Yeah.
own project, their own dream. And then other than that, I'm pretty laid back and just I'm only 24, so I'm
Wow.
still just seeing how I don't have a specific type. I'm pretty open book.
I
Like if I
see.
go through the history of girlfriends, they're all slightly different. They all look a little bit different and different characters.
I see.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Great. Next question. Let's do it.
I hear the music that time.
Amazing. Before the next question, Finn, when I was checking your videos on social media, I found very interesting. You know, some of your videos you start showing your journal, and I think it's very inspiring to see that because somehow you are put your memories there, your challenges, your happiness, everything about your life. You are sharing that, and I think it's amazing, like a therapy. Um, Tell me, I'm going to ask three questions in one. The first part of the question is, when was the idea for you to start this journal? Yeah. The second part of the question is, tell me something that you put it there that for you was the most difficult thing for you to put it out, to write down, to share with your journal. Tell me if you can share. And the third part of the question is, tell me something that you wrote there that you're very proud of yourself, that gave you this good
Cool.
feeling of writing.
Yeah, these are great questions. First question is when did I start or why?
Yeah, when was the idea for you to start your journal?
So this specific one I got given as a gift, but
Wow.
I started the concept. I started understanding about journaling quite young.
Yeah.
At like again 15. So I wish I have them at my mum's house. But like now the whole journal thing, I talk about it a lot. It would be cool to have them, but I can get them at some point. But so I started journaling to track my fitness.
Mm-hmm.
I would use it to track my weight, my goals, what I want to achieve, and then I would use it to just write. I would write down my workouts. So it was like a workout notebook, but I would write down how it went, how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
So that was the basic days, and then I've just always been interested with self-development and these things. So I don't even know where I saw it, but I saw journaling, so it's good. So I did it a little bit. again, and then I would stop. And I read back I kept a journal when I lived in Thailand, and I read back at that, but I don't know, it wasn't how I do it now. Like, it was a bit more basic, a little bit less stuff, almost just writing notes. And I could tell that I kind of can remember when I think back, I was kind of doing it because I thought I had, like, it was good to do it, but like I didn't really want to, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you could see I had just rushed through it, and like the handwriting was getting worse and worse. So I got this journal as a present for like Christmas. And I was like, okay, cool. I don't know, it just clicked. I was like, yeah, I want, this is great. I wanted to start doing this. So I started writing. I have it with me. I can maybe even read the first page.
Of course, it's very personal, but if you feel like something, like briefly, like if you can share, like.
So I started it about 5 months ago, and I've done it daily, and I've crafted it more into a thing over time. But at first, I would just write down what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling. I was in a transitional stage of moving from London back to my parents, so I was writing about that. But on the first page, it says it's like January 7th or something like that. I moved back in with my dad, my Eva, my stepmom, my brother, and my baby brother. And then underneath it just says, and I have a plan to go to Sri Lanka.
Wow.
And help people with health and fitness. Amazing. And live a happier life. And I just wrote I'm proud of that I wrote it down, and then I got to this point.
Yeah.
And I wrote that down in just a very honest way. Just
amazing.
I didn't really know exactly how it would look, but that's what I wanted to do. Yeah, go on. What was the other one?
And the last part, what's something that for you was more difficult for you to write down there, that for you, you got sentimental, or for you was quite hard to share in your journal? If you can talk, of course.
Yeah, I'm always open to talk. So the journal, for me at the moment, it's one, I'm in a very good headspace. So the journals, it's pretty much, I'm keeping it positive. I'm really trying to focus on positivity, but I'm always honest as well. So, and I don't always feel positive. But at the moment, recently, I've been feeling very good. But I remember it wasn't that hard, but it was like writing, I've just got to Sri Lanka, and I'm second guessing it. I feel very anxious. I'm missing home. I feel a little bit less like, what have I done? And it was just really hot, and just I felt so uncomfortable. Of course. And again on the plane, I just had like a mini moment of, okay, I'm like, not like a panic, but like just like a feeling in my stomach where I was like,
insecurity.
Yeah. And then I thought, okay, this will pass. And then it lasted for like 3 or 4 days of being whilst here. And everyone's like asking me, oh, how does it go? Wow, it looks amazing. You're there now. And I was like, I was still in the headspace of like, I had just been living at home. I was in my comfort zone, and I just got ripped out of it. And it was my own choice. And I was just feeling a little bit like, oh, what have you done? But when I almost felt ashamed, well, not ashamed, but like, why do you feel like this? This was your idea, but you're not even enjoying it. So that was probably the hardest thing, to attach with myself and write it down and be like, okay, yeah, at the moment I'm feeling like this, but I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to do this, speak to my family. I'm just going to, even as I write it, and literally even writing it, going, as I write this, I'm feeling better though for getting it out of my head. So like, it does help. And I even wrote like, and I understand I'm jet lagged and I've just got here and this will pass. But a little bit of me thought, will it, or will I just miss home? But it all worked out. And like those thoughts, now I can't even really remember. It feels like I've always been here.
Amazing. Thanks for sharing. Thank you very much. I totally agree. I think write down there, it somehow is part of healing and helping and put it out. And I agree with you, because when I was 19 years old, I left Brazil and I moved all the way to Portugal, to Europe, since, and I remember the first 2 weeks and I was like, I can do it, I'm gonna do it. But when you get there, it hits you in a way that you go like, wow, what's that? Yeah. So for me, I remember when you were describing, I could picture myself like lost in my thoughts.
Yeah.
I was 19 and I was like, my God. And the culture as well was very different. People completely different than what I got used to back in Brazil. But as you said, I didn't journal, I wasn't writing, but I was very lucky to have people around me like older than me, and they were kind of giving me good advice and everything. So I was like, okay, so there's always a way for you to find some comfort somehow. Amazing.
Yeah.
Great. Next question is, what do you think are the best traits for a person to have?
Traits. Yeah. So I think we all have certain traits, and everybody has different qualities about them, which is unique, and I kind of like that. But I like if someone is passionate and has enthusiasm. So yeah, they're just passionate about the small things, as well as having something that they're into, like a passion, a project, a interest. Yeah, someone that has a positive outlook. I want to be around positive energy, positive people. Yeah, someone that's I like to be around people that are driven, so they have some drive, a goal, some discipline. They're not just looking to lie around all day, and they're driven. Yeah, I would say those traits, those qualities, I think are good. But again, I also like how people are unique and different, and I find it fun, like just interesting to be around different people with different traits.
And when saying that, when you think about yourself, when you analyze yourself, what's the best part of being you? What's the biggest joy of being thin?
One thing, it's kind of hard to answer, I guess, but I would say one thing for sure is that I am passionate. I am very obsessed with my things, like my fitness, living a healthy lifestyle, being connected to nature more, jiu-jitsu, surfing, like just like living a healthy, happy life, like and social media and building my business, my brand, and like I'm obsessed and passionate about that. So I always wake up with purpose and drive, which is a nice aspect, to not feel like I don't know what to do with myself. I would also say at the same time, I can be laid back and just quite chilled, and just like try not to get bothered by too many things, to just go with the flow and just have a good time. I like to think that I'm someone that just enjoys the small things, like the basic things, have a simple life. I live like quite a basic way of life, and I really enjoy it.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Ready for another question?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Next one. Hey, thing from Sri Lanka. I was about to say England as well.
Yeah.
Next question for you is, what's the happiest day in your life so far, and why?
I'm not sure, because I don't think I have a defining day, to be completely, to not just make one up, or like I've not had a day where it's peaked. Like this is just incredibly. And the funny thing is with happiness and like emotions like that, maybe when I was younger, I had a holiday and I like went on holiday and it was like, oh, this is the best day ever. And then a couple months later, you'll do something and you'll be like, oh, this is the best day ever. So like, but like, I don't have like a, defining moment. Like, like
sure.
I have a baby brother. So I have a baby brother who's one.
Oh.
He's like 1.5 years old. And there's been some days where like I saw him take his first steps.
Oh,
That was a special moment, but and like if I was to put it on that, that was like that made me feel like it was just like a special moment. I was happy, but like I always, but then again later on, like I just carried on like with a normal day. I wasn't thinking about it. Like it was just a nice moment, but yeah, I think I stay at like a good baseline and just
I,
like again, I've not had a particularly extraordinary day where something like I did this and then did that and it all, or like I met, I don't know, like someone. It was just all, it's always just good baseline and positive outlook, but nothing. That would be my honest answer.
absolutely. And as you mentioned about your family already twice or a few times, which person in your family you feel more close to, or you feel more connected with, that you know that's there for you?
Yeah, so I'm lucky. I'm close with. So I have obviously a mum and a dad. They divorced, so from that stemmed out to having a stepmom and a stepdad. And
Wow.
again, like I'm good with my mum and my stepdad. Like we have a good relationship. I'm good with my dad and my stepmom, and they've had another kid. That's the baby brother. And then
Uh-huh.
I have a brother who's I've grown up with, who's I think he's 20 or 21. So we're super close. Um,
Uh-huh.
I'm lucky to have a good. I'm happy with my family. Like I understood when my parents divorced. Obviously, I was upset at the time. Maybe I was like 8, but I was also just pretty good with it. I just understood,
Hmm.
and like when they met new people, I was just like, cool. I just welcomed them in, and just again, I was lucky that they met nice people. So I was just like, cool. That's just how
Amazing.
it is.
Amazing. So let's see. All of them, they are watching this interview right now, and you have
Yeah.
a moment, you have opportunity to send them a message. What would you say?
So if I was to say, yeah, like one unifying message, I would just say, yeah, thank you for, especially if I'm aiming at my parents, thank you for the way you raised me and, yeah, always supporting me. I feel very lucky. And then for my brothers, obviously the little one, he just does his thing. And then my other brother Noah, just yeah, he's been there for me at times where I've needed him, and
Amazing.
we've always had a close bond. Just been lucky to just it's just how it's been. Just that's my brother, and we're good. We're
Oh,
always hopefully he'll come out here soon. Which I'm excited for.
amazing, sweet. I can see all of them now smiling after this beautiful
Yeah,
message.
yeah,
Right, I have 3 questions left. Okay, let's do it. Before the next question, thing again, back to your, your videos, your profile, your social media. There was one video there that got my attention, which is very, again, inspiring, very, I think people watching that, it's great to see, because somehow you learn and you can picture yourself with other people as well through their journey. You already mentioned about that you had, you were drinking. It was a way for
mm.
you to forget your problems.
Hmm.
You're a bit depressed. Your mental health, you're not in a good state. And now looking at your other videos, we're like, wow, what a change. You are so into your fitness, the nature, the journal. I think it's
Yeah.
amazing. My question for you is, when was the moment that you said, okay, I need to turn around, I need to start a new
Yeah.
journey? Tell me the moment that you
So
realized that.
yeah, so so I was into fitness. I was a good kid. Like I was on a good path, and then yes, like I just slipped into it was during lockdown as well, and just a few other things, and basically I was no longer I was struggling with my mental health. I didn't even understand it, so I was just using alcohol. I never had an amazing relationship with alcohol, um, just ever. So, but then when I could then I started just drinking it, just literally on my own and just self-medicating with it. So I basically got beaten up very badly due to being very drunk and losing control. Again, I don't even know fully what happened.
Wow.
But if I wasn't depressed, if I wasn't angry and putting that out there, I've never been in a fight since, and I will never be in a fight again. Like, maybe someone attacks me on an odd, like, but like I was looking for it in a way. I was angry, I was drunk, I was out of control. But it was terrible. I broke my jaw in 4 places.
Wow.
So like, yeah, I was knocked out. I was bleeding everywhere. So I woke up in a hospital with a smashed fit, like with like a face like this. So
Wow.
that was the moment. So then I had a good few days there to just think about everything.
Mm-hmm.
But that was it made it easy for me to be like, okay, now I felt like I could tell people that I was struggling. I
Mm-hmm.
felt like I moved away. I went and lived with my uncle and just did a basic like landscape gardening work with him, and he just looked after me. And I started to heal and slowly, just literally heal like my face and heal internally, which took a lot longer than the face. And
Mm-hmm.
but that was the defining moment that I was like, okay, if you keep doing this, maybe you like, yeah, I'm lucky that my face healed really well. Like
Yeah,
the
it's not.
doctors,
I would never
they
say I
were
would.
like,
No, I could
yeah,
never tell
like
that.
and like I pretty much got out of it like I do get some pain, and like it's like I can feel it, like it just feels like there's metal plates in it. But um I'm lucky, like I didn't end up in a wheelchair or something else, which
Mm-hmm.
was, or maybe I was the one that did the damage, like, and you know what I mean? It could have been endless. Um, and again, I was driving my car drunk. I was doing so many things where the jaw was the moment where it put a stop to me, luckily.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's like, still, I learned my lesson. It was pretty bad, but my my outlook on it is, one, it isn't that bad as it sounds. Like I'm fine. I'm completely fine today. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not affected me in my career, or not affected anything like that. Um, I'm glad it happened. That it, one, showed me you're not invincible. Two, that you need to change, because eventually you will just throw your life away. And it's like, you have so much potential. Like, how are you? What? Like, it's just absurd that you're doing this. Like, it's just not me deep down, and it's just crazy that I was so going in the right direction, doing the YouTube. I had built my channel up. I had like 10,000 followers on Instagram. I had a whole thing
Wow.
going on, and then I just fell into this, dip, and had to, just use and climb my way out. And throughout that, I learned a lot about myself. I have, a lot of self growth from the suffering, from the full experience, and a lot of, it's just made me who I am. And now my goal is to help people that are in a similar way, or maybe not on such an extreme level, but
Mm-hmm.
they don't feel great. Maybe they're not doing what I was doing, because again, I'm quite an extreme person. So whatever way I'm going all in. So uh but now I feel like I can even speak about the subject, because I have an experience, which almost sounds silly. And like, I'm like, okay, if we can turn some good stuff from this, you can use it on social media as a story. You can play on that, catch people's attention. Like, it sounds almost bad, but like, it's so out there. Be like, look, here's a picture of me in the hospital. Like, I got beaten up. I have tons of videos of me chugging alcohol, because I was just filming myself. And like, I use those to show people, one, that I'm not making it up. Like, I really was like that. Two, it like gives that like, since I've started to do that, people now reach out to me saying, I saw your videos and it's given me hope, because I'm
Yeah.
basically like you when you were younger, and I want to be like you now, or I want to get to that stage. And they now trust to listen to me, that I can maybe help them, depending on the scale and the level. Just start to pour down with rain. I don't know if you can hear that, but
No,
that
I can't.
happens here. No.
Amazing.
But yeah, that was definitely the defining moment, and it's something that took a long time to recover from, with some trauma with it, some misunderstanding, feeling like I always felt like, now I can't go out drinking like a normal young person. And then I would try it, and then I would get all, like, it just wouldn't work. Like, I would get like almost like a flashback, or
Wow.
I would be nervous and drink too much because I was nervous that something might happen and that I might do something. And I was all just like jumpy or whatever. So like, even in crowds, like at first, remember when I came to London, I was like, felt really weird just walking through a crowd just in the day.
Wow.
Which is now like, that would never happen. But my confidence, and like just over time, I just developed it and worked on it. And I've made the decision to quit drinking alcohol. So I made the decision to do that this year. Last year, I pretty much quit, but I had the occasional night out, and I had control over it, but I just decided, this year to put an end to that.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, Finn. I think at the end of the day, sharing our story and talking open, you are helping people in a part of healing as well. Somehow for you feel like you are in a better place, and it's always like that. Sometimes we need to go through those things. I know it's not easy, and as you said, some trauma comes with, but at the end of the day, talking about
healing comes with it too,
and helping people. Yeah, absolutely. It's both. Okay, next question for you is, what made you laugh last time? Something that you could stop laughing.
I'm living with my friend Tyler, and we wake up. We've been waking up super early, 5 a.m. And just to be honest, we'll wake up and in that state of mind of just being almost just like, what are we even doing? Like, why are we even putting ourselves through this? And just like making jokes and like trying to film like YouTube videos at 5 a.m. and like saying, I don't know, like saying like I'm boiling the coffee and like mixing up the words when I'm meant to say I'm boiling the water, and then we're just laughing and just being like who even does this? Like, we're just in the kitchen in the dark, just trying to follow our dreams and just laughing about that, and just like that it literally none of it even matters, and just we'll sometimes be so tired and working so hard, and then you just slurring the words.
And Tyler is from England as well, or not?
Yeah, from England. And he's lived here for like a year and a half.
I see. Okay. 2 questions left. Let's do it. Okay, next question is, who has been the most influential person in your life and why?
Probably my dad. So, I've been asked this one before as well, and I don't have like someone an idol or like a celebrity or like whatever, like a sportsman. I've just not really. But like my dad has impacted me a lot. He's an artist. He's a sculptor.
Oh wow!
So yeah, it's cool. So his sculptures are cool. They're sculptures of meaning. So they all have deep meaning about life and the lessons of life. And one of them is called Born of Fire. I have it tattooed on my shoulder, and that represents through suffering you are reborn and you rise again. So at first I grew up around him doing it, and grew up around all these sculptures. They're very strong, striking poses. Like I have one as my lock screen here. I don't know if you can see that best. But
yeah, I can. Yeah, absolutely. Wow.
So yeah, I'm influenced by it. But at first, I guess my point I'm trying to get across, just found it cool. Wow, he makes stuff with his hands, and that is amazing. And they look amazing. They're big, they're abstract, but like as I got older and I experienced life, I then now understand the meaning behind them.
Mm-hmm.
And him being like, this is life, and we all go through these things, and they all have different. Like one of them again, I love. It's called the Leap of Faith.
Yeah.
So he's typically done them in male form and female form. So it's either a man or a woman taking a leap, literally like taking a big leap. And it's about taking the leap of faith in life. Like you have to take a chance. You have to just go. So again, for me, it was coming here, and there's been other things I've done.
Wow.
So yeah, he's always speaking about these things. He's very spiritual, very stoic, deep guy, like always speaking about his teachings, very serious character.
Wow.
And always, yeah, he's taught me a lot of wisdom, told me to like read a lot of books, and just has a certain outlook on life, which is, yeah, like obviously he's raised me, so it's impacted me. And just grow, yeah, to just see a man, he's never had a normal job. He's always pursued his artwork, and just to see a man do that in a small little workshop in our little town with an old van, and just keep working. I watched him, and we like working Monday to Sunday until, yeah, now he has his studio in his garden, a big house, a nice car, like all the material things, like fruit, which is cool. Like, and he always tells me it doesn't matter, it doesn't mean anything. I was just as happy back then. But to just see him stick at it and believe in himself and build his name as an artist, whilst having 2 kids, and just to see him, to see that, it's been very impactful and inspiring, and we're very close.
Saying that, what's the biggest difference between both of you, and the biggest similarity?
Yeah, okay. It's hard to know a difference, because we are very similar. We walk the same. People think we look the same. Even now, it's funny that I use a lot of the things he's taught me, and I'm teaching it to my guys, my clients, and like some of the spiritual meaning and just the teachings he's taught me. And he's always kind of helped people out and with their mindset, even like not as a job, just on the side, because like obviously his artwork attracts it, and like it's kind of what he embodies. So it's gonna bring those types of people that need help or are seeking advice. But again, but let me try and answer it. So the most similar thing is, well, yeah, I've seen that he's been very clear and very like, he doesn't want to have a job. He doesn't want to work for someone. He wants to only do what he wants, and to live a life of pure meaning and self-expression, and to just like literally doing anything else. Just do your thing. Doesn't matter what anybody thinks, and to not be scared, and to not worry about the money. It's more about doing the thing, doing the sculpting, actually doing that. So, and I found that I completely agree with that. And now I feel like, I really want to practice my craft of being a coach, being a speaker, being like sparking a feeling and an inspiration in others by sharing my story, by helping, by literally, I want to help other people transform their lives, and I want to impact as many people as possible doing that. So,
and the biggest difference.
The biggest difference, so we have the same. I've noticed we definitely have the same. A lot of the same qualities. Different. So
could be anything, like maybe something.
I can't sculpt. I can't sculpt. So
good one.
I've tried. He's tried to get me into it, and I have no interest in doing that. Like, I sat down, like, so like I do like it. I do like art. I enjoy it, the looking at it and being around it. But I've made no artwork, and my dad's an artist, and I have grown up in an art studio, and I've made like zero artwork, maybe like one thing that he basically did. So I have an artistic eye. I love art, but like, and I've done a lot of videography for him and editing the videos, and I absolutely love his work, and like, but like I'm not actually, I have it. he's very practical. He can build things. He can do obviously like make things with his hands. I cannot like yeah, like if I get given like an IKEA bedside drawer to build, I'm not building it. Like I can't do it. I just can't figure it out. Whereas he can do it without the instructions. And like we laugh at that. Like I'm just not practical in that sense.
There's always a difference. You see, sometimes when you think more deep,
yeah, for sure.
Ready for the last question?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do it, last one. But before the last question, Finn, let's see if someone, watching this interview right now, maybe they are facing a challenge moment as you did in the past, as a very young age, drinking. And if someone watches this interview right now, maybe they are facing a situation that they don't find like a way to get out of it. What would be your best piece of advice?
So my advice would be don't give up, don't lose faith. And then if you're in the mix of it and you're aware enough, you have enough awareness to go, okay, this is destroying my life, then seek out help. Because if you're in this position where you clearly maybe not, so you can't really control it, you're just not in a good spot, you can't do it on your own, you've shown yourself that, and like as an outside view you can see like these types of people, like you need help, you need someone to speak to, you need someone to whatever it is, if you're actually addicted to the alcohol, or if your mindset is you're depressed, you're not you just don't feel good about yourself, reach out to someone. But again, I will give some actual advice. I would say basic things you can do. If you're not getting outside in nature, start there. Super easy. Just go and submerge yourself wherever you live, whatever nature is around you. If it's the beach, if you live in the city, just the park, or if you can travel out, get out of the city. Be around water, animals, observe natural nature. You'll be surprised how that will heal you and how that will make you feel. Try and, in this day and age, put away the phone and just reconnect with yourself the best you can. And just, if the sun's out, absorb the sun, sit in the sun, and just experience the presence of nature. I think that's underlooked, and I think it's super easy. It doesn't cost any money, and it's just basic. I'm not asking you to do anything. Just go into the woods, basically. Just go go to the beach, sit there for a bit, see how you feel.
Amazing. Last question for you is, if I would ask your best friend right now to define yourself in one positive word and one negative word only, what your best friend would say?
Enthusiastic.
Mm-hmm.
Negative. Impatient.
Okay. You're a bit like you're kind of trying to find the word. It can.
Yeah. Impatient, or if that's the right word.
Okay. Not right or wrong. That's what comes to your mind. The general term. Right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. It's just one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Okay. Let's start with family.
Love.
Money.
Flow.
Fear.
Fear. Mind. Scared.
Okay. Life.
Limiting. Beautiful.
Love.
Needing.
Okay. One word for sex.
Passion.
Religion.
Interested.
Politics.
Not interested. Yeah. Boring.
Friendship.
Happiness.
One word for desire.
Life.
Regret.
Past.
Success.
Future.
One word for wish.
Wish. Dream.
Happiness.
Smile.
One word for Somerset.
Green.
One word for England.
Home.
One word for online coach.
Passion.
One word for Sri Lanka.
Adventure.
And the last one, when I was checking your profile, there were 3 words there: mind, body, and soul. One word defined of the 3 words together.
Unity.
Amazing. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your dad for a coffee, yeah, and I'm going to ask him, what is the most beautiful thing about Finn, yeah, and what's something that he still needs to work on, to improve on, what your dad would say about you?
That he's a dreamer, that he has a dream and he's going for it.
Yeah.
And then one thing he needs to work on is self-limiting and not truly believing in himself.
Wow. Amazing. Listen to your dad.
Yeah.
Let's play now Finn and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. But before you ask him the question, what Sri Lanka has taught you so far?
To not limit yourself, to just truly, if you couldn't fail, what would you do? That, as again, like that way of thinking, to just go for it. And it's taught me that I love to be connected to nature. It's taught me, to just be positive, to say hi to the people, to just share a moment, and how much that can impact you. Just like it will impact them, I'm sure and you see them again and you do it again, and the smile gets bigger and they feel more comfortable. But then that does something to me. Like, it sounds almost selfish, but then you then go do that to more people, because it's like a positive frequency. I've been learning about the positive frequency and getting yourself into that, and Sri Lanka's taught me that.
I see. Okay, Finn, you can ask me a question now.
Cool. So my question was to ask you, what's your biggest fear?
Great question. My goodness. Wow, my biggest fear. Wow, you put me in the spot right now. I was expecting a question like that. You know what? The first thing that came to my mind right now, Finn, and it's quite interesting because it's a genuine answer, but it came straight away. My biggest fear is my mind. And I'll tell you why. Interesting. Today I found myself in a situation where I was overthinking. Yeah. And when I find myself in this situation, I try to disconnect somehow. I try to talk to myself. I go like, look at you are going there again. I make a joke with myself just for me to distract. Yeah. And it's very interesting you ask me that, because today, literally, I felt a bit anxious about it, because I was walking and suddenly, those days just come, sometimes it come and go, yeah? And sometimes when you start thinking about something, you start overthinking and your energy gets a bit down. And literally, I was looking forward for the interview today. You're my first interview, and I was like, oh my God, because I feel the best here when I'm doing the interview. And I got excited about it. Somehow I distracted myself. Back to your question, I think, yes, my biggest fear is my mind sometimes, because as you know, our biggest enemy can be our minds,
Yeah.
So,
sure.
Yes, absolutely. And I think, great question. And such a genuine answer, because today I found myself, this morning in a situation that I was just overthinking about, like, random things that doesn't change anything. And suddenly I found myself in a situation that was like, wow, look at me going in this direction again. But after just went away. But for a moment, I had one moment with myself. And it's interesting asking that, because sometimes your mind can be your biggest enemy. And the positive outcome here is sometimes when it happens, for example, the way I find to distract me, it's make a joke with myself. I go like, look at you, William, you are going there again. And somehow I get distracted and I go back to reality. So thanks for the question. That's for sure. That's my biggest fear sometimes in my own mind.
Yeah. Valid answer. I can see that. That
Did you
can be
enjoy
the
the
thing for a lot of people.
Did you enjoy the interview?
Yeah, it was fun, and it's good to put yourself out there. I was pretty just excited for it, and just it's something I want to do more. So I'm glad this happened.
I'm
It's bizarre that I wrote it down and it came so quickly.
And I'll tell you something now, Finn. I'm very grateful as well, and I'm glad you shared that situation about write down and suddenly we got connected, because that's the thing about life. Sometimes just it's so powerful. Sometimes you write things that you have no idea, because sometimes they say what you put it out, it comes back to you. What you ask for the universe, it comes back somehow. And
I think
I'm glad.
absolutely.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you shared, not just that, but to be honest with you, checking your profile, and you come across a very confident person. And when you mentioned about you are 15 years old, you were very shy and you couldn't express the way you are. And it's fascinating to see how we can change and how can we improve and how we, change ourselves. And there's a different world out there that sometimes we need to go through and understand. So thanks so much for being so open and talk about your challenges. It's great to see you in this new journey of your life, where you are starting 6 weeks in Sri Lanka is the starting. And it's great to connect with you. Thanks again. And before you go,
thank you.
Before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Yeah, so I wrote it down. It was just a quote that I like. So I like quotes. I like looking for some positive ones, and I share them with my followers, clients, whatever. So one that I shared, one can choose to go back towards safety or forward towards growth. Growth must be chosen again and again. Fear must be overcome again and again. And I like that because it shows you need to be constantly seeking growth and constantly overcoming. It's an ongoing process.
And as you said about fear, I think fear, it can be very positive, because when you're going to do something and you have these butterflies, this scared feeling, it's a good sign. It means you're going the right direction. Because if you're going to do something in your life and you don't feel any butterflies or anything, you know what I mean? You need to have this fear. It's a great feeling.
Another good one I heard is the butterflies in my stomach are in formation. So
there you go.
I like that one. This was said by a UFC fighter, but like, he's nervous, but he feels ready. Like, you're obviously going to be scared before you do a big step or do an MMA fight or a competition or things. Again, I competed in jiu-jitsu, and I found like I was scared, and I knew deep down I wanted to do it. And like, even again, I have it tattooed on my arm. It says "Seek discomfort," and you have to seek it. You have to get out of your comfort zone, put yourself out there, basically.
Amazing.
Which I think is where the growth and where the good things happen.
Absolutely. Out of your comfort zone, you find beautiful things waiting for you. So yeah, go there, go out of there. It's not easy, but go out there and you're gonna see how beautiful things can happen. Thanks so much. Regards to your family, to your friend Tyler, and all your friends and family, and we keep in touch. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Okay, your very first podcast. Imagine the future. You're gonna go through a lot of podcasts, but this one is gonna be always there. The first one. You are
Brilliant.
We keep in touch. Thanks so much for the interview, and it was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Have a good night. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.